Good morning, boys and girls. Good morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. Today, my students and I have decided that we're going to write storyboards for our stories that the kids started character profiles for in the beginning of the school year. And since we are online now and I am filming from home, I decided to have them do this digitally. So the reason I'm doing this video today is to kind of allow the kids to see the steps I took in order to make a storyboard in PowerPoint. It's more of it's not a so techie version of it. It's something that like elementary students, can do. And so you would need either PowerPoint. I know that you can do it on Word. You can also do it in Google Slides if you don't have a PowerPoint. I am not so familiar with Google Docs and Google Slides, but I know that some people prefer it. So you can do it in there as well. I am much more, what's the word? I'm a much, I can't think today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit sick at home today, but it's okay. Anyways, so I understand PowerPoint and Word documents better. So anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna share my screen and I can show you sort of what I did with students today. And so what a storyboard is, basically, a storyboard is a way that we can, when the students are going to write their own legends, myths, or fables, they're gonna wanna have scenes. So like every scene, there is going to be a little bit of words and there's going to be a picture about the scene. So it's very similar to that. And so what I want them to show me is that they can do a story card about words, a story card about the same matching scene, or the other way around. And I know storyboards technically are not for creating something, but for grade 3s, I think it helps them put everything into perspective so that they can move their story cards around to make the sequencing better. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start and we'll see what happens. Okay, all right, so we're going to look at making our own storyboard first. Okay, and basically what I've done here, okay, my students are doing storyboards for monster stories. And because in the beginning of the school year, they drew their own characters and they did a character profile on their monster characters. So I told the students, because we are just finishing up our English unit on myths, fables, and legends, that it would be important for them to learn how to do a storyboard so that they can do a good, nice little book for their monsters, but that they would have to choose a legend, a myth, or a fable. And this is a great assessment tool because instead of actually giving a test, I can see if they understand. So I would probably give them a test, but at the same time, or an assessment of a written assessment. But at the same time, this is like a project-based learning where they can actually show me their understanding, and it's a fun way to do it. So we're gonna start. So what I did here is I showed them, I said that when we do a storyboard, we have to have boxes. Now you can have curved boxes, you can have circles, you can have anything that you are more comfortable with, but for beginner's sake, we use boxes. All right, and in these boxes, then you would make at least 9 boxes on a page. So 9, right? 3 times 3, yeah. 9. Okay, so in each box, you have a little idea. So I said, this is my legend, once upon a time, or if you want to start with long ago. And so these are your story beginners. Okay, maybe you're going to have story beginners with once upon a time, maybe it's going to be long ago, or 10,000 years ago, or a day in the past. However you want to say it, you would have a story beginner. Then you start with your details. So there once lived, there was a monster named Avenger and Penelope. Okay, so this is going to introduce your character. All right, you wanted then what I had the students do is I had them, before I put the words, and I asked students to give me a picture, anything. So little Nawaf, he said to me, I want a picture of pigs dancing. Okay. So I would find a picture about pigs dancing. And I said, the people were so happy, pigs started dancing. Okay, so maybe this picture and this thought doesn't match with the rest of this, or maybe it does, and maybe it can be put at the end of the story, but that's why we do it, because we're brainstorming some ideas too at the same time. He was a hero, he was a villain, he was one of the people, okay? Anything, another detail, but one day, strange things were happening. Dogs were sleeping in beds. All right, and again, this is something a student asked me to put in there for a picture, so that's why I did it, okay? And so but you can do it opposite. You can start with pictures. So I have here, once upon a time, or this is the legend, this is my legend. Once upon a time, or long ago, or 10,000 years, or a day in the past, here's a monster. And this could be any monster. I just picked it off the internet. You can name it anything. And then here's my pigs dancing. And here's one of the people. Okay, these are not my villains. These are my heroes. So this would be my villain. And if I have a hero and a villain, that means it's a legend. Okay. And strange things started happening, and that's where dogs are sleeping. So what I did is I am better with writing things down and then illustrating after. And some people are really great at illustrations first and then writing captions underneath. So it depends on how you're able to do it. So this is what I talked about today, but I will go now step by step on how I did this. So, and I'm using this board to show you. I've inserted a shape. Like I said, you can use any shape you want. If you wanted to use hearts, I guess that's okay. It's just a way for the kids to show me that they understand the concept. So make a heart. Okay, and now I want to copy and paste. Okay, and paste again. All right, like that. And these hearts are a little bit big, so I need to make them actually a little bit smaller. Probably should have done that first. And that's why I use squares, because more text can be fit inside those hearts. There we go. That's about right. Okay. Oops, no, I think that's a little bit off here. There. Okay. So what those little lines do is, you see those little red lines down below? That's your spacing, to know that your hearts are spaced properly. Okay, now I can start writing in these shapes by double clicking, and then I can say, once upon a time, or if I'm going to make a fable, what is my fable based upon? Okay, if I double click again, maybe I want to insert a picture. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to close this out so you can see how I get there. So if I want to put a picture here, I click on the box to highlight it, just the thing here. I go up to shape formats, this part here, shape formats. I click on shape formats. And where do I go here? Shape fill. And then I want to drop a menu. Here, see? Then I will get this menu on the right. If you're in Arabic, then it's going to be on the left. Okay, just so you know, if your computer is set in Arabic, it'll be on the left. But for me, it's set on the right. And I will go to here where it says picture or texture fill. Okay. Now you can see that it pulled up the last picture I've pasted in there, but I'm not going to use last picture. I'm going to pick something else. So if I want to insert online picture, I can pick any topic. Hero. Okay, just say hero. And automatically it talks about like Superman, hero. It could be anything that you would want to put in here. It doesn't matter. Like, so let's just say for for quickness, I'm going to use this one. All right, so if I put that in there, okay, it will put a hero. All right, if I want to adjust it, okay, if I want to say, okay, but I want this hero to be I want this hero to tile picture as a texture. Oh, it doesn't do that. Okay. If I want to, I can play with it here on this side. So anyways, I play with it here on the side. There's effects, there's this, there's picture. All right, so if I wanted to say the picture position, here is where I would make it bigger to fill the heart. Okay, maybe I want the height a little bit bigger. Okay, maybe I want the offset bigger. I want to put it over here in the heart. You can play with it. So this is how we do picture inside the story card, right? And then on here, you would write words. And how you write words, you can go to text options, text field, and double click, and then you just start typing. There was a hero and a villain. Now, I've told the kids to make separate cards for separate pages, but if they wanted to write this, they could put it here and then make one here, copy it, paste, all right, 2 hearts to make one story. Okay, so like if this was one page of their book, there was a hero and a villain, I can go back into picture and fill, insert different picture online. Okay, now I'm going to say villain. Okay, so you can see there's lots of villains out there. We're going to use, which one should I use for our villain today? We can use Ogi. I think his name is Ogi from Thor. Ogi, yeah, I think so. Okay, so we use him. And then, of course, his mug is going to be in this picture. And again, if you want to adjust the picture, you would go over here and you're going to change the offset because you want him to kind of go to the side. Maybe you want him there. If you want the height, the width to be changed a little bit, so it's the full heart, and then just change the offset again. So you can see more of the picture. You can see him kind of in the heart. All right, so you got your hero and your villain. And so then basically the children could use, they could do this, there was a hero and a villain, and have these kind of close together, or they could have it separate and say the hero's name was this and the villain's name was this. Okay, but because basically the story card writing is supposed to match the photos, right? So if you get to this point and you're just playing around with it, that's fine. Or you can get to here. I'm going to enter here. If I want to say I want another slide, but I want it to be the same, I go to duplicate slide. So I have 2 of them. So now let's say I want to put this here. There was a hero named Super Blue. Okay, it's a name, so we have to make his capitalized. Okay, Super Blue. All right, and the villain was named, and I want to copy this. Copy, paste. Okay, and here, the villain was evil or laughing evil man or something. I'm just making it up. It's very original. Okay, all right, so now we've got that this is we're going to teach it, but this is a fable, so we're going, you can't really necessarily let a fable because we're talking about villains and heroes. And yes, fables can have that, but usually what I've been teaching them that a legend is something that has a villain and a superhero. Okay. That is what their book is calling it, but I know literary experts out there will probably tell me, well, Marissa, a fable could be a legend too. Well, yeah, it's possible. It is possible. I'm not saying it can't be, because they know some legends can tell lessons and tell this type of thing, and that's what a fable does. Okay, so if you get to that point, you could do something like this, and that's totally acceptable for the kids, because I've told them about 3 squares and 3 pictures, so if they wanted to do it all on one slide, it's okay. However, if they want to do it where I told them to do it the other way, okay, where I've said there once was a felon, okay, and we're going to copy paste again because it was the last thing I did, okay. All right, so what they would do is, in order to copy another whole row of hearts, it's very simple, or any shape that they want to put in there. Okay, they click Control, and you'll see this plus sign over the shape. Plus, plus, and this one is already selected, so we don't have to hit it again. But I'm holding the Control key down, and I'm clicking at the same time. That's how I'm selecting the whole thing. Okay, you could do select all on the slide as well, but it's just easier to do it this way. Okay, so then I go to copy. Oops, that didn't work. I go to copy the last, oh, what happened? Copy. Okay, I go to paste, and it pastes, oops. Okay, so I go to copy. I'll start again, sorry. I don't know why it's working this way. Copy, paste, and you just simply drag it down, and there's another whole row of things. And then it's easier, then they can fill in the pictures they want under the 3 cards that they have to have. I told them that, so then it would look something like this based on whatever their cards say. Or they can do, like if they get really creative and they really want to write a lot, they could have their cards on one page and they can have their pictures on the next. Just want to see if they understand what storyboarding is. It's really a fun thing for them to do because it's pictures and words, and it gets them really encouraged to write. And the nice thing about doing it in any Microsoft document is that there is a spell check, so they can learn their spelling at the same time. So that's it for me today. That's our English lesson. So they are to do 3 story cards with writing and 3 matching pictures. And like I said, for now, it can be anything. It can be their story that they're writing. If they're going to make their own illustrations, they can color their illustrations, take pictures with their phones, and send it to the computer, either via WhatsApp or email or however you guys decide to do it. And that way they learn how to put pictures into, I know this is not ICT, but I'm kind of combining the subjects. So I'm kind of making this a tiny assignment project, but I think grade 3s are very techy. They seem to be very much into technology, so I thought this would be fun for them to kind of integrate the 2. All right, so I hope you enjoyed my presentation. If you did, please do like and subscribe below. And I hope to be putting up more videos in the near future. I am working with lots of different platforms now, and so hopefully I can do amazing things for education. Take care. I hope I start to feel better. I am not feeling well. But inshallah, and God willing, I will be fine in the next week. Take care, everybody. Thank you.